So here is a draw along looking at a profile photo source. So I'm looking at this profile view and I'm starting with the mouth shape, and I'm drawing, since it's profile, I can only see half of these M shapes. So this is half of the M of the upper lip. And here I am, I'm just sort of noticing that there's that little like crease, little gap at the edge of, at the end of his mouth there. So I see half of the M shape and I'm just putting it down. There's the long leg and then it dips down. And I'm sort of noticing the angle and the proportions. And again, I'm not tracing it and coloring it in. I'm sort of like kind of finding it. And I notice that I do see a little bit of the second dip up of the M. So this is that the legs go up, it dips down, and I see a little bit, but the rest of it disappears out of view. It's on the far side of his face that I can't see. And then I know his bottom lip is a cylinder, okay? And from the profile view, I see the side of the cylinder, right? So it sort of sticks out, right? And it might be very rounded. That's like the cylinder part of it. Some people's might be very rounded and more angular or flat. And then there's the under ledge of the bottom lip, that cylinder piece. And I can see the cast shadow here really clearly, but that's that cast shadow that we've been drawing in the frontal and 3/4 views. And then I'm just getting the angle of the chin. And here in this case, the underplane of the chin, I can see it. And so I was just noting that as, remember, we're putting in all the shapes that are underplanes, and we're including the upper lip as like an underplane. So underplane underneath the lip, underplane, in this case under the chin. Sorry, that's my kid trying to show me that dinner's ready. And there's the underplane of the lip, okay? So, and remember, I'm noticing, I'm sketching out how the top of the lip, the bottom of the lip, the chin are all parallel with each other. So I'm just going to make sure that all of those other things that are parallel, like my eyes and the forehead, that those are all actual parallel planes. So here I'm building up that little cleft ridge from the upper lip. And of course, they're very, very close together in this profile view. You might even have a perfectly profile view and you'll only see one of those two cleft ridges. And now in this case, I'm noticing where, I know that those cleft ridges go up to the nostril holes, okay? So it goes right into the hole. The other hole I can't see. So I'm observing that shape. And now in a profile view, the stretched M that we've been doing of the underplane of the nose, it still hugs the nostril like this. So see, I'm doing the long leg of the stretched M. And in this case, and I'm noticing where it is in relationship to the mouth, right? You know, so how much longer or wider is the mouth than the nose. And then I see half of the stretched M, and it dips down. And in this case, his cartilage kind of dips down. You might have someone who has like a very nose that tilts up or points out. And then just like the upper lips here, I see just the very beginnings of the other half of the stretched M shape, right? Just like on the lip there. You see the other half of the nose, but the rest of it's out of view, okay? And I am noticing here that the nose sticks out farther than the mouth. So see how I just dropped that little dotted line, a little vertical line, just to notice how much farther out does it come out? Does it come out a lot or a little? So I'm gonna look at that space, okay? So that's what happens to those stretched M shapes in a profile view. They're almost completely half. We see little tiny traces of the far side. And I'm looking at relationships here. I'm looking at how far the nose comes out, how much farther than the mouth, and the nostril. And here I'm doing my measurement. Bottom of the chin to the bottom of the nose is bottom of the nose to where the brow is, okay? So I've just made a note. Somewhere around there should be the brow. And then here, profile view, there I put in the angle of the nose, right? That's way too steep, right? It's much more slanted back. So take some time on a specific person, really try to notice that angle, right? Observe it, tweak it, put it down, look at it again. And now these are all the things that should be parallel. The brow, the underplane of the nose, the mouth, the chin. They should all be parallel in your drawing because they're parallel in real life. And here I am. I can see an eyebrow. And again, I'm going to notice where's the front of that eyebrow, right? In my drawing, I have it not even lining up with the mouth there. So I need to move it over, right? Now I'm observing that the front of the eyebrow actually is over the nostril hole. Okay, so I'm going to move that all the way over. So as you go to put these shapes in, you know, now that we've started, we've got the relationship of the mouth and the nose. Make sure everything else relates back to them as well. So I'm just going to do my best to observe the shape of the eyebrow because he, you know, this person has a prominent eyebrow. Some people's eyebrows are really observable shapes. Some people's are barely there. So if there's something to see, put it in. If it's not really, if you don't really see it, don't really put it in. So I'm checking that relationship, okay? And in a profile view, it's nice. You can see the crease on the nostril flap, so I'm putting that in there. And now, in our other frontal and 3/4, we were doing the brow to nose V, okay? So what we see of the brow to nose V here is one piece of the V is almost perfectly vertical and drops straight down, okay? And then there's the most narrow part of the nose, and then there's the other half of the V, okay? And, you know, just observe it. So when it's in a profile view. So I notice that that goes out. And then what happens here is the other eyebrows, I see the whole half of the eyebrow here, I see the whole half of the nose and the lip here, but our far sides, we just see little traces. So all we see of the brow that's on the far side from us in this profile is that, just that little tuft almost, okay? So, and then that is part of the eye socket in there, okay? And it's in darkness. And there I'm just sort of putting in, you can see maybe an eyelash is sticking out or something, okay? So, and here is our underbrow to the side plane of the nose, right? These are our like 3 major areas that we're putting in as light doesn't hit it directly. And in on this guy, they're really dark shapes, you can see them. And then the forehead, on our frontal and 3/4, you can see the forehead comes up from the brow, but since this is a profile, notice that the side that's closest to us is perfectly vertical, and then really noticing how the side that's far away angles in. Okay, so here, just stopping here, I'm just noticing that the nose, you know, I can kind of tweak the shape of that. But the best part about your profile view especially is that you want to sort of, you have this outside edge that's really, you know, it's going to have these angles going, you know, slanting this way and then going in and then coming out and then having an underledge and coming down, angle, 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 right? And you should remember how I dropped the line here, noticing where the nose was. Maybe notice the lip comes out farther than the chin. That maybe even noticing how the... Okay, sorry, and I just didn't mean to click off there. Just noticing how the brow and the lip maybe line up, right? And where the front of the brow is with the nostril, maybe where, you know, this little cast shadow is in relationship to the lips. So these are called relationship lines or organizational lines or sighting lines, right? You're kind of noticing where something is in relationship to each other. And the same way you can go across here, maybe noticing how this shadow comes down, you know, to maybe not the middle of the nose or to there. Okay? Good things to look for.